So because Jimmy Butler played small forward for the Bulls this previous season, and I would pencil him in as more of a 3 than a 2 for the Wolves, I'm not going to consider him for this video. By proxy, that means I would be considering Andrew Wiggins, but I think Wiggins has a bit of progress that he needs to make before he's in this conversation. I think a similar thing can be said for Devin Booker. Fast forward a season or two, maybe those two are in this sort of a conversation. As of right now, I think they're not. When you look at someone like an Avery Bradley or Chris Middleton, two-way players, they're nice. I don't think their scoring is enough. Also, James Harden, I am considering him a shooting guard and not a point guard, so as a result, he's number 1. We're just going to get that out of the way right now. Anyway, before that happens, number 5, Bradley Beal. Beal should be higher on this list, because when you look at his athleticism and his shooting, his strength, and his ability to create, which is not like amazing, but it's good enough combined with everything else, he should be higher on this thing. The problem is he's been hurt too many times in his NBA career. This previous season, he was able to play pretty consistently throughout the year, and as a result, he had by far his best year. He was very efficient from the field, from 3, 23 points a game, and I expect Bradley Beal to only build on what he's already done. However, it's kind of tough for me to put him any higher than this just because there's a chance he could get hurt again. And if I don't have that sure thing, then I just can't confidently put him up higher than number 5 compared to some of the other dudes on this thing. But I would love to put him higher. I definitely would. And if you guaranteed me he was going to be healthy again, I probably would. But as a result, I gotta play it conservative, you know? Or I could just not. Maybe I'm just a little too scared. But whatever. Bradley Beal is number 5, and I'm hoping that he can keep up what he started last season. Number 4, we're going CJ McCollum. Unlike Bradley Beal, McCollum has not faced injury troubles. He has played and started in 80 games each of the past 2 years. Hopefully that was proper English, you know what I'm saying. McCollum's like a shooting guard version of Paul Pierce, because he's not that athletic. I mean, he's not like a 70-year-old grandfather, but I don't know what I'm talking about. But he's still able to just use his craftiness. He's excellent when it comes to floaters and from the mid-range area. He's a very good ball handler, knows what he's doing in the screen and roll. His playmaking, I feel like it should be better given how good of a ball handler he is, but because of his three-point shot and just how effective of an offensive player he is overall, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think being one of the best shooters in the league also helps that out. Over 5 attempts a game at 40%. Now, does he suck on defense? Yeah, he does. And like I mentioned, I would love to put Beal ahead of him, but you gotta go with health in a situation like this, you know what I mean? DeRozan at number 3. If you've watched my channel for any extended period of time, you may have seen me once or twice say not the nicest things about DeRozan. And sure, the dude has some weaknesses. Lack of a three-point shot, not the best defensive player in the world, which I just said about CJ McCollum, but DeRozan, the combination of the defense as well as the three-pointer, it's not the best thing in the world. Yeah, he has cases of over-dribbling, but what DeRozan does well, he does well enough to where I think he ends up being a positive overall because he's just really freaking good at scoring within the three-point line, man. Whether it be contested mid-range jumpers that the moment he shoots it, I'm like, that is just a terrible shot, and then it goes in, or just drawing contact and getting to the free throw line. I mean, the dude attempts 9 free throws a game, where he also shoots 84% from the line, so he puts a lot of pressure on the defense, he can post up, he hits mid-range jumpers that make no damn sense. DeRozan does enough well, even if he gives me a headache half the time. Now, we gotta go Klay Thompson at number 2. Is he the creator that DeRozan or CJ McCollum are for themselves? No, although I do think if he was in a different situation, we could see a bit more ball handling from him. But Klay Thompson is elite when it comes to shooting and defense. He defends basically point guards through small forwards with not too much difficulty, and he can get switched onto some power forwards and not have a problem as well. But the other thing with Klay is just how versatile of an offensive player he is. It's easy to get caught up in the three-pointers, but he shot over 200 shots at the rim this previous season, where he shot 65%, which is excellent. He shot 43% in the paint, which is very good. He shot 46% from mid-range, which is well above league average. And then you add to that the three-point shot. You can basically run any sort of play for Klay Thompson. You can have him moving off of screens. He can post up on smaller dudes. He's just one of the most convenient players in the NBA. You combine all that with really good defense and being 6'7", being able to shoot. There you go. Even if he dribbles like a third grader sometimes. I gotta throw shade at everybody. Then we got James Harden, number 1. You are not surprised by this one. Harden is an offensive cheat code because he averages over 11 assists a game and he also shoots 1 million free throws. So how the hell are you supposed to defend this dude? It seems that the best defender of James Harden, or the best person who defends James Harden, is James Harden himself, because he always mentally checks out at the end of the playoffs, even when Kawhi Leonard is not playing. Like I said, I gotta throw a little mean shot into every single guy here. Harden is basically mini LeBron James, and he is that sort of a leader offensively. And his ability to go from a good playmaker who at times over-dribbled to a guy who almost always makes the right decision with the ball in terms of off of the pick and roll, always detects where the help defense is coming from, knows who's going to be open. He's just so good, man. So freaking good. One of the, I don't know, 5 to 6 best players in the league, probably, James Harden. And I'm excited to see him and Chris Paul together. And, yeah, fear the beard. You think he ever shaves that thing? I'm going to have to go with a no, because of how much marketability it has.